eyes of the champion. Gotta wonder what he's thinking right now. But first, let's hear who finishes fourth place.
And presented to William the Conqueror Bonet.
As predicted yesterday, Dan, I thought he came in a little heavy. He dropped one notch, which is not a slap in anybody's face, but he's a little too heavy on this stage. If he dries up a little bit more, drops a little bit of weight, and that's hard to say, I think he'll streamline this physique and be right back in the hunt again. But right now, he's remaining in the top 4, and he came off an Arnold Classic Championship. That's not an easy thing to do, and a year ago, he didn't have to deal with that.
And then there were the top three bodybuilders on the planet. Phil Heath, Willie Winkler, and Sean Roden await the announcement of third place.
Rolly is in a very unfamiliar
Presenting the
position
third place award, representing Olympia
at this moment.
is Kevin Kay. We take the third place award, the Olympia bronze medal, the check for $100,000 to your third place finisher, Roy Winkler.
All right, Sean Ray, your people's champion, is the number 3 bodybuilder in the world. A terrific Olympia showing for Rulli as he continues to fine-tune that massive physique, those freaky proportions, and he has turned it in to what is now one of the top physiques on the planet. Rulli Winkler is your third place finisher.
With $100,000 to show for it, man, that was earned the hard way. Rolly Winkler, very deserving, very popular, and his status and his stock in this industry has just gone up twofold. And then, Dan, there were 2.
If I could please have Sean Roden and Phil Heath on the center line, please.
We've seen this play out before as Phil Heath held off a fast-charging Sean Roden several years back, and now we're going to see the rubber match.
And what's at stake? The runner-up will win $150,000. The winner will win $400,000. And in Olympia tradition, Bob Ciccarello will probably announce the winner.
You here.
That's right.
Will be your 2018 Mr. Olympia. Presenting the first place award, representing Midway Last, Mr. Wilton Kali and Catherine Kali, and our IFBB Pro League President, Mr. Jim Mannion. I will now announce the winner of the 2018 Olympia. Please take the Sandow Trophy, the Olympia Gold Medal, the check for $400,000, and the title of 2018 Mr. Olympia. To our winner, and new Olympia.
There it is. It has happened in Las Vegas for just the 14th time. We have a new Mr. Olympia. The defending champion has been knocked out. Sean Roden is your 2018 Olympia champion. Phil Heath's run, at least for now, will end at 7 in one of the more improbable developments. Phil Heath stands at center stage congratulating the winner, Sean Roden. And I gotta tell you, Sean Ray, coming into this weekend, there weren't many people that would have ever dared to predict this outcome.
Absolutely, and I wasn't one of those guys that thought that for 2 seconds. However, I talked to a fellow professional bodybuilding friend of mine from Italy, Gianrico Rica, who saw Sean Roden on Wednesday night the day I arrived. He has a show coming up, the Amateur Olympia in Italy next weekend. He said he saw Sean Roden and Sean Roden was going to win this show, and I looked him in the eye, and I could not believe what he was saying. Sean Roden has accomplished what no other man has in over 10 years.
Our coverage is going to continue after the break. Stick around, guys. Back, an historic night here in Las Vegas. Sean Roden has just been crowned Mr. Olympia in one of the more improbable developments in the history of this contest. Very few people saw this coming. There was an expectation that some guys would push Phil to the limit. Sean Roden was not on many of those lists, especially after one played out last year where he finished 5th. And here he is, the final man standing, and Phil Heath's run ends at 7, or he will remain tied with the great Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Bob Chick just asked, did the judges get it right? And to a resounding applause, they said yes. I believe Sean's waiting for his kid to come on stage to share the moment. Sean Roden a year ago had a kid, and a couple years ago I should say, which takes your eye off the prize, and there she is. That dress has got all kinds of stuff on it now, but it's got that gold medal, and she'll remember this moment years to come.
And a reminder, do not put your kids in white when you have Pro-Can on. I know, sweetie, I feel the same way. Sean Roden, you're the new Mr. Olympia. Wow, what a great fight, Sean. Everybody can see yesterday that you brought it. You brought your A game and you came here to... What's the matter, sweetie? You want to say something? It's Daddy. Said hi, Daddy?
Hi, Daddy.
Guess what? Daddy's Mr. Olympia.
Hi, Daddy.
She said congratulations. Here's something you can play with. Look at it. Wow, look at that. Isn't that cool? All right, let's talk with the champ. Sean, congratulations, my friend. You have done the unthinkable. You have beaten the great and 7-time Olympia champion, Phil Heath. You believed in yourself. You told everybody you were not messing around. You came here to win, and you are the new Mr. Olympia.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for coming out and showing support to all these amazing athletes. Jim Mannion, AMI, C.Y. Merger, all these wonderful judges. Thank you guys so much. To my family for making it out here. Man, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey, and I'm thankful for today. And yes, today that I was able to fight my way. Something that I believe that I was going to be number 14.
And you are number 14. Only 14 men in history since 1965 have held this title. Some of those great names that you know, of course. And you just beat a hell of a champion in Phil Heath, a 7-time champion. Nobody thought he could be beaten, but you did it.
Yeah, I've been watching Phil since 2012, taking a lot of notes, and I know people might laugh at me when I say that, hey, one day I was going to be Mr. Olympia, but here I am, folks. This was probably my hardest prep ever, but I wanted it so bad. I'm thankful that I'm here.
Well, Sean, look at that Sandow trophy down there. That's going to look really nice up on that mantle, isn't it?
I haven't even think that far, you know. This past couple of days has just been a roller coaster. You know, I have a great supporting cast, Chris Aceto, Psycho Fitness. My training partner make it to the Olympia for the first time, Stamina. And I'm gonna tell you, man, they beat the crap out of me these past couple of months just to get here. And to all you fans out here for your support, you know, every time I look and I hear someone said Sean is too small, Sean is spending too much time with his family, Sean looks like he's retired, but it's okay. We had a game plan and we stuck to it, and we found our way to come here. Did everything that I possibly could have can to look good this weekend.
Well, Sean, you certainly did more than look good. You look great, and the judge is certainly rewarding that with an Olympia victory. Take me through yesterday. After prejudging, what were your feelings after you stepped off the stage?
To be honest, man, I walked out of here yesterday and I looked at Chris and I said, it's only Friday. You know, I know a lot of people had me, you know, winning or a close second, but I just looked at Chris and said, it's only Friday, Chris. We still have Saturday, let's just focus on today. And that's what we did, one day at a time.
What did you think when you came here tonight for the final, Sean? Did you think you had it? Did you think Phil was going to eat you? We all know Phil comes back better on Saturday, so you knew you had a battle coming up tonight. But what were your feelings? Did you think you had it?
Listen, guys, Phil is no slouch. I've been chasing him since 2012, so I know in the back of my mind, I'm like, hey, you know what, he's missed a Saturday night. He could come in here and he could look his all-time best. But again, I looked at Chris Aceto and Chris said, hey, you know what, Sean? You'll be better than you were yesterday. And if that man believed in me, I'm good.
All right, Sean Roden. Right here in the center, I want you to hit your first pose as your new 2018 Mr. Olympia. I'll have you know that was not easy to get back, Sean.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. 14. I don't even want to use the word lucky. This was earned and the hard way.
And please help me in celebrating your new Olympia champion. What's the draw? Sean Roden.
Sean Roden, as we've known through the years, is a man of few words. He lets his physique do all the talking. He did just that tonight, and it took 54 years. We have ourselves a 14th champion.
By way of Jamaica, this is the guy that took 7 years off of bodybuilding to care for his ailing father. He passed away, came back, turned pro by winning the North America Championships, and slowly started to serve notice by winning the Arnold Classic over in Spain. Just came out, got second runner-up here, and now he became the Buster Douglas of modern-day bodybuilding by knocking out the reigning defending champion. And here's our top 5 leaderboard.
Sean Roden wins it. He defeats the defending champion Phil Heath and Willie Winkler. Of course, what we are learning now, William Bonac in 4th and Brandon Curry rounds out the top 5, and we're waiting for those other scores to come in so we can round out the top 10. We might have to wait a little bit later in the program to get that. But first things first, Sean Roden has defeated Phil Heath in a stunning turn of events. Not so stunning if you consider the pace of the show, but stunning when you consider what we walked into as we arrived here in Vegas. There were very few people that ever considered the possibility that Sean Roden, after last year's 5th place finish, was going to come in well above 40 years old and win this competition. But a tremendous event, and we're going to take a quick break. night this is? I know you had a plan going back to...
We're going to throw things backstage. Dan Solomon trying to get an audience with our reigning champion for 2018, Sean. Oh, Flex Lewis, our 212.
This gentleman to my right has just been one part of all the history that... made tonight here at the 2018 Olympia, and Flex Lewis, congratulations, you are the 212 champion once again for the 7th time.
Wow, it's very surreal again. There was an execution plan made 20 weeks out, and of course my body was telling me at 226 jump on stage, and we just had to rechange the plan, and getting here today hasn't come without its own sacrifice, and from everybody, from the family, all to see me fulfill my dream. My coach Neil Hill doing what he does is absolutely phenomenal, and again, I'm lost for words. I think I left everything up on stage and what I said tonight.
Well, it's unusual at 34 years old that we hear somebody step to center stage and talk about the fact that they are walking away. And you'll have to forgive my skepticism a little bit, because when we look at your physique, when we look at your energy and where you're at in your life, that you have still a lot more to do as a bodybuilder. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit on that, and I'm going to question this decision. Are you sure now is the time to step away? And give us some clarity on this plan. Are you stepping away from this division? Are you stepping away from the sport? Is there a bigger picture plan that you want to fill us in on?
Well, as you know me, Dan, I always have a plan on things, and I'm all about breaking down barriers and opening the doors. What I've achieved in this sport, you know, as a kid, if I thought about it, it blows my mind, you know, but I dream big. And as a 212 athlete, you'll never hear that name being called out again on stage. But for the future, I think there's going to be definitely a time and a place where I definitely jump back on stage as an open class guy. But it's got to be done right. It's got to be done in the pace that allows me to grow, mature in the right areas without rushing. And that being said, you know, I've got a lot of irons in the fire, and I'm ready to open a lot of doors that bodybuilders haven't had the chance to yet, and I've already done that this year. So I'm excited to explore new avenues. Like I said, open doors for the whole fitness industry into what I'm doing, and there's a lot of things that I need to fulfill from the personal standpoint before I even think about opening the door to standing on the open stage.
Well, I'll tell you this, I'll let you put a bookmark in your career, at least for now. We're not going to let you off the hook that easily. But I had a son who was in the audience tonight, and when I heard you talk about never giving up on your dreams and inspiring fans really around the world the way you do, that's such a big part of your story. It's such a big part of your message, and you've done such a great job of serving as a tremendous ambassador to the sport. So, Flex, I applaud you for that, and what you are is so much more than a physique. You are somebody that has brought an important message and important energy to a sport that oftentimes needs that positivity.
Yeah, and again, bodybuilders have been given this cliche, right? And when I got into this sport long before I became the champion, I wanted to break that stereotype, and that is still a personal goal of mine. I've broken these barriers, and again, with where I am in life right now, it's about having the mainstream look at a champion with a different mindset and a different eyes and again representing the sport on stage and off. So the next generation, all these new young blood coming through, I put the bar up high. And again, representing on stage and off is what this medal means, and has them for me long before the medal was around my neck. And aspiring people, the young kids like yourself, and I do live by that motto, dream big, and everybody out there should. Dream big, never give up on your goals, and again, just have that belief that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve.
And for Flex Lewis, his dreams came true 7 times. Your 2018 under 212 champion. Congratulations, Flex. Well done. We're going to go ahead and bring in somebody else who has just made a bit of history. You know, we give these interviews every year where we get to stand here and talk to the winner of the Mr. Olympia. It's one of the great privileges, one of the great things that I get to do each and every year is talk to the #1 bodybuilder in the world in the moments after an Olympia is settled. And I'm not going to lie to you, Sean, never in a million years did I imagine that I'd be standing here talking to you as the greatest champion. Having said that, when you walked out tonight and what you presented last night and again tonight, it was extraordinary. The fans around the world agreed with the decision. You delivered something remarkable. You bounced back from a year ago where you were off, and you talked about some of those trials and tribulations going into last year's competition. And in one of the more improbable turn of events, you have won a Sandow Trophy. You are the 14th man to do so. So for that, we congratulate you on an extraordinary achievement.
Thank you. It's now haven't sunken in as yet, but it's been a long year from last Olympia. Broken jaw, mouth wired shut. Had to eat to a straw. Had to blend all my food. Still able to fight my way to the top 5 last year, and I started my prep this year for the Arnold Classic. Ended up with 2 bleeding ulcer and 8 blood transfusion. Had to pull out the last couple of weeks. And I wanted to make a statement for this year's Olympia. And when I told people it's going to win the Olympia this year, a lot of people kind of laughed at me because I looked like I was about to be retired. But I have a great coach, Chris Aceto, great training, Psycho Fitness 21, and a training partner that will never let me quit. Plus my family was always like, hey, you know what? Just focus.
Let's get down to brass tacks here. You beat a really good champion tonight.
Great champion.
Phil Heath has done remarkably over the last 7 years, winning this title, and he came in very confident this weekend. He thought he had this thing coming into the competition. You were very confident, as we saw from the very early phases of the weekend. You came out here, took care of business. Talk about not what it feels like to be Mr. Olympia. Talk about what it feels like to defeat the great Phil Heath.
You know, I've been on stage with Phil since 2011. It's a great feeling, man, because again, Phil is no slouch. You have Dexter Jackson, former Mr. Olympia, also that were on stage, and I know these guys are 2 champion and they worked their butt off, and everybody was going to come in here firing in all cylinders. Rolly Winkler and William Bonac moved up the chain this year. One thing that my coach told me is that, Sean, just stay in your own lane. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Just focus on what you need to do. The only thing that we need to do here for this year Olympia is to bring the best Sean Roden ever. Because if you bring the best Sean Roden ever, it's going to be very hard for anyone to beat you. And I believe.
You're also one of the oldest men to win this competition for the first time. I think Chris Dickerson may have been a year older. How old are you? Can you put out the number?
43.
43. I think Chris Dickerson was also 43 when he won the competition. So hopefully some of our historians out there will determine if you are the oldest to actually win the contest for the first time. How many more years?
I'll be back. I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, I do want to just put some perspective for you, if I could, before I let you run. The Olympia Winners Club is the most prestigious club in this sport. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sergio Oliva, Dorian Yates, the Ronnie Colemans, Jake Cutlers. You are Phil Heath. You are in that club. No matter what happens for you going forward, no matter what happens to you for the rest of your life, you are forever a Mr. Olympia champion. Pick up that Sandow trophy and show the world what you have just done. Remarkably, extraordinarily, impressively, and well-deserved. Sean Roden, your 2018 Mr. Olympia champion. Any final thoughts before you get out of here and go eat?
Just want to thank my family for putting up with me the last couple of weeks. I miss my family, training in LA. My coach, Chris Aceto, and Psycho Fitness. Thank you guys so much for continuing to believe in me when everybody else stopped.
And then there were 14. Sean Roden, congratulations. Our newly crowned Olympia champion. I think that's going to wrap things up here from Las Vegas at the Orleans Arena. Our coverage of Joe Weider's Olympia weekend has now come to an incredible close with the crowning of a new champion. They often say in this sport of bodybuilding, the most memorable nights are the nights where a champion is crowned for the very first time. And Sean Roden, thanks to you, you have given us that moment. For all of us here, we appreciate the hard work of Robin Chang and everybody over at the Olympia production team, our director Luz Wick, my co-hosts Amanda Latona and Hall of Famer Sean Ray. For our newly crowned champion, Sean Roden, I'm Dan Solomon. Good night.